Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Avengers 60 Years of Earth's Mightiest. This is, of course, the Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest anniversary program for this year. Here we have the Captain Marvel versus Doctor Doom 2-pack. Probably not the most exciting out of the packs, I would say. The Doctor Doom figure is really nice. The Captain Marvel figure is pretty good. I do have a big problem with this figure, and that is actually going to be the heels, the high heels feet. I have her standing up now, but it took a few minutes and the positions of the feet are all weird. And that's really my biggest complaint. She does have single jointed elbows because of the design of the sleeves. I think they could have achieved that with double jointed elbows, however, so it just kind of sucks that they went with that route. She does have pinless legs, so we do get some new pieces going on there. The figure is, again, pretty good. It's just my biggest thing is going to be those damn shoes, those heels, because it's just kind of hard to work around. The Doctor Doom is cool. It's essentially, I don't want to call it a straight up repaint to the Iron Man figure, like the 80th anniversary Iron Man figure, but it is very similar to that. I think it's got the same arms, it's got the same legs. He is pinned, so you know that stuff is new. The torso is going to be different. We do get a Victor Von Doom unmasked head sculpt. He actually comes with the removable mask. Well, it's not really removable, it's just the mask there. We do get the alternate head with the full mask and hood. For him, we get interchangeable hands, a pair of fists for Doctor Doom. We also get a pair of fists for Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. So yeah, looking at the box, we get the side artwork there, looking pretty good. We got some Kirby crackle going on there. Yeah, that all looks pretty good. Here on the back of the package, again, you could kind of see the loadout of what everything has. Hands, mask, head. Captain Marvel versus Doctor Doom. So let's go ahead and get that box out of the way. And we'll go ahead and quickly go over these figures. I won't spend too much time. Hopefully this will be a pretty short review for you guys. The Victor Von Doom head sculpt is probably the biggest highlight of this 2-pack because it is really nice. And when we get in for the close-up look, you guys will see that. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Captain Marvel first, and then we'll go right on into Doctor Doom. Before we do get into that, though, I did get my set from ToySnowman.com, so check him out. Link in the video description below. It's my referral link, which will give you a 5% off coupon code for first-time buyers. ToySnowman.com. They are based in Canada. They have all of your action figure needs. Not just Hasbro, Marvel Legends stuff, and G.I. Joe, Classified, Power Rangers, Black Series, all that. They have Mafex, your import needs, Joy Toy, Warhammer stuff is really popular. All that stuff is available at ToySnowman.com, so make sure to check them out. Canada gets everything first, you know, compared to the U.S., so check them out, because these aren't coming to the U.S. until, like, August 1st. Canada's got a bunch of them. They've sold out of quite a few sets, so make sure to check out the link in the video description below to see what is currently available now. But let's go ahead and get into it and take a look at Captain Marvel. Okay, so here's a close-up look at Captain Marvel, and if it looks like she's kind of leaning, it's because she is, like, look at her feet. I can't for the life of me get her feet to, like, be straight. You see how it is on there? I just can't get it, and if I line it up with the ankle, you see how it's angled, and it's not going to be flat. So that's, it's like, it's bothering me, like, how much work around I have to get and position the legs in certain ways to get her to stand. It shouldn't be that difficult, and that's the problem that we have with these heels. Like, I'm not a fan. Like, I think sacrifice maybe the comic accuracy to get flat feet or something, or more stable feet, or something that can be completely flat and straight, because look at that. That's not, like, she's not going to stand because of that. And again, I think that's a huge flaw for an action figure, right? Should be able to stand. Now, certain dynamic poses and things, you know, maybe it's not going to be well, that's already a problem. And we don't have a boot swivel is the other thing. Like, if we had a boot swivel, we could probably work around those things pretty easily, right? You know, just kind of adjust. But there's no swivel on for the boots, which is kind of crazy. It's weird. I think this whole lower leg is all one piece. This pirate boot type of thing, where the fold over, it's like all one piece with the leg. You know, I don't know if it's like glued together at some point. There's just no swivel to it, so it's just tough. So I'm like trying to get her into like some dynamic poses to see if, you know, maybe certain ways you can get her to stand and it won't really be an issue. But man, I can't. The feet are just very, very difficult to work with. Patience as I try to... Okay, so I got that there. Let's see if I can just kind of show you guys, tilt it a little bit. So I did get that. I don't know if I'm a fan of it, but it's something, I guess. I can do something with the arms, maybe, and still get her to stand. Yeah, so again, some stuff can be done. Just, yeah, I'm not liking it. Okay, so as I kind of reposition her so I can stand up, we could see how she looks. The head sculpt is not too heavy, so the hair must be a pretty hollow piece in there. So, you know, it's not any heavier than a normal figure. Usually with, you know, large hair, we tend to see them be a little bit heavier, back heavier, and tend to fall backwards. But we don't really have that issue here. Digital face print for Monica Rambeau looks pretty good. The star emblem looks pretty good. You can see a little paint line there. Not a big deal for mine. The sleeves are in two separate pieces to give it the effect as if it is one piece there. Again, single jointed elbow. I think they could have done the same effect with a double jointed elbow. Unfortunately, they did not give us the double jointed elbow, but we do have pinless legs there. Not a whole lot going on for the costume, however, but there she is. And let's go ahead and zoom out for her articulation, and then I will do a side-by-side comparison with the other Monica Rambeau figure that we have, the Photon, that came in the Toys R Us exclusive A-Force box set. Okay, so here are the two Monica Rambeau figures. Again, this is her Photon figure from A-Force, also kind of how she looks, you know, as part of the Ultimates. We do have another Monica Rambeau figure coming soon later this year, which will actually be the MCU Monica Rambeau figure, which is actually listed as a Photon figure. So she must be going by the Photon hero name in the Marvel's movie, I assume, but the figure itself calls Photon, although the Scarlet Witch figure from Captain America Civil War listed that as Scarlet Witch, even though she wasn't called the Scarlet Witch until, you know, WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness. But there we go. There we have it. So let's go ahead and take a look at Monica's articulation. She can look all the way up, which is good. The head is on a disc hinge. She can't look down that much. You get full rotation in there. We do get some head pivot going on, so you can give her some kind of expressions. You can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. There is a swivel at the elbow, the single joint, but I don't know how much use you can really get out of it. That's probably actually how the elbow should be. I noticed that the C portion's on the inside, but earlier I had it was on the outside. I guess that doesn't really matter, depending on kind of the position, the shot that you're going for. You can kind of do that, so just adds up on that. You get a little bit more than 90-degree bend with that elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on the open hands as well as the fists. And then we have the diaphragm cut, so she can tilt to her left that much. She can tilt to her right that much there. She can go back slightly. They did kind of paint that star logo a little bit, so it kind of works when she's leaning back. That's actually a pretty good range of motion going backwards. Going forward, though, it's extremely minimal. That's not anything new. We see that with every female figure, essentially. You get a swivel at that diaphragm cut. Legs go out that far apart. She can kick forward very high, which is good. Leg goes back a little bit as well. You have an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee, so a very solid articulated knee. No boot swivel, calf swivel, or anything like that, which I think is a big hindrance and really hurts this figure. The feet hinge all the way down. You get some hinge up, as you can see. You do have ankle pivot in there. There are no peg holes whatsoever. So even with the ankle pivot, though, again, it's hard to get the position of the foot to be completely flat to get her to stand, because they still feel very angled out. Like, even when you look at it, you see that they kind of bow out, and it's a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a hassle, I think. Like, she can't. Oh, I mean, I guess now on video it makes it seem like it's super easy and I just barely an inconvenience and I can do that. But I promise you, it's not as easy as I make it look in this particular moment. But that is the Captain Marvel figure. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Doctor Doom. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Doctor Doom figure. I already have the mask and hooded head sculpt already on there, and it looks pretty good. One big thing I want to call out is this band around his leg there. The old Mattel Secret Wars figure actually has it green. I tried to look up as much artwork as I can from Secret Wars, and based on what I've seen in the comic, it was actually the same color of the suit, the silver or gray. But if I'm wrong on that, you guys let me know down in the comments below. So I'm just curious as to why, you know, if the old figure was green, must have been for a reason, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, definitely from the images that I, searched, it was the same color as the suit, the silver or gray. Yeah, basically, 80th anniversary Iron Man figure. I do think these are new hands, but the legs and arms and everything are going to be the exact same. I mean, it's accurate to the original Secret Wars comic event, so, you know, that makes sense. One cool thing that this figure gets is we get panel lining. So all these lines in the sculpt work and everything, we actually get black paint in there. That's pretty cool. The metallic green, you know, has a nice shine to it. The hood doesn't really match the hood because of it, but you know, it looks good, and the panel lining is nice. It helps bring out those details, but wait, no panel lining on the back. Now, that's not a big surprise because Hasbro tends to skimp out on paint on the back. There isn't as many panel lines to have painted, so I think they still should have. But they just didn't. As you can see, it's only on that front torso piece. It just does not, they just did not on the back torso piece. So that is unfortunate, but how often do you do photography and display looking at the back of the figure? But yes, I still think they should have done it because it's very minimal lining. Would it really have added that much? I don't think so. So that's unfortunate. But the panel lining that we do get, I think, looks good. The head sculpt looks really good. The mask, it looks to be a different head sculpt from the previous Doctor Doom figures that we got. The hoods are obviously different, as you can see there. But the helmet is actually different as well. I think this one had a separate piece for the eyes in there. These ones are just completely painted on, but the eyes still have like the digital print on there and they still look really good. So heads up on those two, they are different. I will do a side-by-side comparison a little bit later, but enough of this head sculpt. The highlight is going to be the Victor Von Doom head sculpt, and then for the hood down version you would just pop that on, you know, because still the hood's still there, still part of the suit, right? But we have the Victor Von Doom head sculpt, and he looks pissed off, right? He looks a little upset. But it is done really nice. That is a great head sculpt, if you ask me. The hair sculpted nicely. The expression, he looks upset. But it is just a very good, well done head sculpt. I really like it. I think this is going to be actually the big highlight of this 2-pack. You're obviously not going to buy the 2-pack for just a head sculpt. Especially, you know, at a $49.99, which is like the standard price for a 2-pack. So usually the anniversary lines are more expensive. The figures have already gotten more expensive, so at least on this particular one, it stuck with the same standard price point instead of adding in the extra $5 premium on top of that, which always was crap. Always hated it, but you know, it is what it is. Luckily on this one, they didn't actually do that, and it is $50, and $50 is still already a whole hell of a lot for a 2-pack, and I wish we went back to the $20 per figure as opposed to the $25, but this is the world that we are living in, unfortunately. And, you know, for that, why not do some extra damn panel lining, right? Come on, guys. Jeez, Hasbro. Anyway, that head sculpt, really good. You guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of that Victor Von Doom head sculpt? I think it is one of the best head sculpts that Hasbro has probably ever done. They've done some really good ones. They've done some terrible ones, for sure. But this one, damn, that is really, really good. It's crazy that I shot this review when it was just about to pack up and begin editing, and I completely forgot to include a clip portion that shows the mask. Like, what was I doing? The mask kind of sits there on the face, as you can see, but that's not what it's meant for at all. It is just meant as an additional accessory that he can hold or something like that. The problem is he does not have a grip hand, so nope, that's not going to work. Can you do something like that? Nope, that's not going to work. So I wish he had an actual grip hand so he can grip the mask, but he actually cannot. It is done with like a rubbery material. You can see the inside, and that looks pretty cool. So it's definitely a nice accessory. You can have it laying down somewhere. You could do all kinds of things, use it as a prop for a setup. Again, I just wish that he could like really hold on to it. You just have to like position it in his hand in a way where it's not going to fall, which becomes a balancing act. So depending on what kind of pose you may be in, you kind of get that trouble. But I would love if he could just like hold it out like this, or, you know, as he's removing it or something, he's holding on to it, but he just, you can't unless you stick a finger in the eye hole, maybe. It just doesn't work out. But it is a very nice little additional accessory to come with it. Just, again, open or a grip hand would have been the way to go for it. Okay, side-by-side comparisons before we get into the the articulation. I wanted to show off the two Doctor Doom figures together so you can see them. And one thing that I think people are going to want to know is, does this head sculpt go on to the old Doctor Doom figures? And was that supposed to happen? I don't think that was supposed to happen that way, right? I think the head sculpt was supposed to come off and not that neck piece. Headless Doctor Doom. I need to figure this out. Anyway, yes, the head sculpt can go on there. I was able to put that whole neck piece back into that upper torso portion, and the head sculpt does fit on there. He does not have a neck. However, with the large armor and everything like that, I still think it looks fine. No issues there. The green of the hood down portion would not really match. I guess I could have done that. No, it wouldn't really sit on there too well. So just a heads up on that. I'm going to pop. See, it's definitely a different head sculpt. As you can see in there, they have a separate face piece like in there. I can't. My neck is a little off center now, so he's always going to be just kind of tilted a little bit. But yeah, there's the Doctor Doom comparison. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the articulation of Doctor Doom. The hood on head sculpt, he's not going to be able to look up. He can look down that much though. If we pop that off and pop the Victor Von Doom head sculpt on there, he definitely can look up. He can look down quite a bit. He can go side to side, and you do actually get some pivot going on in there, which is good. The arm goes straight on out. You get a full rotation in there. Upper bicep swivel, pinned double jointed elbow. The pins are the same color as the arm. It does not bother me as much. They don't look as good, yes, but it's not that big of a deal to me. Wrists swivel and they do hinge. Both open hands have the standard horizontal hinge. Both fists both have the standard horizontal hinge as well. We got the ab crunch on there, so we can crunch forward that far. Not a whole lot. You can crunch back a little bit there. There is a little bit of breakup, as you can see. It does not look natural as it kind of sticks out. It's not as bad as we've seen a lot of other things, but just a heads up on that. So going back, going forward, that doesn't look too bad in the back. We got the waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can't kick forward that far. The leg doesn't really go back. You got the upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, which it does have pins, same color as the leg though, so it's not as bad. There is the boot swivel in there. Foot hinges all the way down, hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. There is some marbleization throughout the metallic green. You could see it a little bit, but the silver portion as well. So this isn't just like a seam line. That is like fill line from the mold. You can actually like feel it though, which is kind of crazy. Like, that's a bit much. So that's unfortunate, but that's kind of that marbleization. I don't mind it so much. Here, it doesn't really bother me. You see a little bit in the arm as well. It's not that big of a deal. I forgot to mention that this piece here is a floating piece, so you can kind of just move it around. It is not part of the sculpt, which, you know, wouldn't have made sense. That works just fine. It doesn't really move. It's not too loose. It may fall down or move around if you move it, but it really does stay in place, so not really an issue there. But yeah, this Doctor Doom figure is definitely the highlight of the 2-pack, and it is definitely a really good one. You guys let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this Victor Von Doom. Okay, just to quickly review the 2-pack, the Doctor Doom and Captain Marvel 2-pack. We're rounding out towards the end of the Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest. Again, I got my set from ToySnowman.com, so make sure to check them out. ToySnowman.com. They are based in Captain Marvel. See, this is what I'm talking about with these heels. There she goes. ToySnowman.com. Again, I'll have a referral link in the video description below, which will give you a 5% off coupon code for first-time buyers in your Frost reward. So make sure to check them out. ToySnowman.com. But again, you guys let me know your final thoughts on the Doctor Doom and Captain Marvel 2-pack. Doctor Doom is awesome. Captain Marvel is okay. I just wish she had different feet. Man, I wish she had different feet. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective. And as always, thank you for watching.